Alright, so here we are close up on the HTC One X. This is obviously an Android phone, 4.0.3. That's Ice Cream Sandwich that it's running. I have a few different apps downloaded here, some games, some social media things, music, and of course Angry Birds. As you can see, it's very thin. It's pretty light. It's basically all made of plastic, which definitely helps with the lightness. I really like the design here, the white and the silver, along with the black around the edges of the front. It's pretty sleek. Goes with my retro MacBook. As you can see, it has a 4.7-inch screen, and this is actually a 720p HD resolution, which is nice because then you can view, your HD movies on it, or view things on YouTube in HD. As you can see here, we have the micro USB port there for charging and for connecting to your computer. Microphone down here, you have your ear speaker up there. Front-facing camera, which is actually a 1.3 megapixel camera. Your power button right there, if you can see it, it's white. Your headphone port right there. Your back-facing camera, which is 8 megapixels. Your flash. And right here it looks like we have a special docking unit. I can imagine this works with Beats audio docks. The back speaker and the Beats Audio logo right here. I'm not sure if the speaker itself is supposed to be engineered by Beats, but I do know that the phone has an enhancer that is labeled as Beats. It has a dual-core processor, nice for chugging through the video and everything. Memory is 1 gigabyte. A lot of people compare this phone to the Galaxy S3, which actually has 2 gigabytes of memory, so that's something to keep in mind. The camera on it is really nice. Okay, so I'm just going to go into here real quick, and you're definitely going to see a difference because this will be recording in 1080p, whereas right now what you're watching is 780 or 720. Alright, so all you have to do is just hit the video right there, and now we're recording. Hello. And it's a very responsive camera, actually. It's pretty nice. I'm definitely impressed with it. For a phone, very quick, responsive. The focus is very responsive, especially. And one thing that's really nice is that if we go back here, you can see you can actually take a picture at any time you want while you're recording. It doesn't make a sound. It doesn't interrupt you at all. So that's really nice. So you don't have to go back and pull out frames that you want. Now the photo camera is neat because it does have a few different effects. One thing that I wish is that you could overlap the effects and use more than one at a time. If you want to put 2 different effects on it, you have to take the picture with one effect and then go back and edit it and add a different effect. And the weird thing is that when you edit it, it actually doesn't have the same options as when you're taking the photo, so it can get a little weird. But if you are a serious photo editor, you're not going to be doing all your photo editing on your phone, obviously. But the touchscreen is pretty responsive. There's a little bit of a lag, but it's not too noticeable. It's pretty fast. It's definitely a better phone than most. The phone also has Wi-Fi, as well as 4G. This also has Bluetooth 4.0, so you can connect to your headset devices and GPSs and your computer. Now, like the iPhone, the storage is built in, and there's not really any way to upgrade it, which is unfortunate. They market the device as having 16 gigabytes of space on it. I found about 2 gigabytes of space for the apps and about 10 gigabytes for content, so that's something to keep in mind. You only have 12 gigabytes on this device if you want to put movies on it or music. That can be an issue. I have a 30 gigabyte iPod at home that is completely full with just music, and that's not even all the music that I have, so it's kind of an issue that you can't expand it. That's one thing to keep in mind, because there is no micro SD card slot in here, whereas the Galaxy S3 does have a micro SD card slot, and the memory is expandable. Okay, also you have the volume bar on the side here, which I didn't show you earlier. You can adjust the ringtone right there. And the screen itself is actually 16:9 aspect ratio, so that's perfect for movies. We're going to go on YouTube right here, and we're going to watch the new Monsters University teaser trailer in HD. And this is pretty nice. We'll see how fast it loads up here. This is really only a minute long, so it shouldn't be that bad. One thing I do like about this, you just flip it over, it goes right into full screen. Let's turn it up.
Since the very first bedtime, all around the world, children have known there are monsters hiding in their closets. But what they don't know is those monsters weren't always so scary. My pony made the dean's list. They had to go to college first.
Now, one thing to mention is that the speaker is on the back, and it's pretty loud. It's a pretty loud speaker. I really like the speaker. The only thing is, it's on the back. It's not as clear as it could be if it was, say, on the bottom. I know there's not a whole lot of space here for any speakers like on the iPhone, because the iPhone is a bit thicker. But you know, it's unfortunate. Let's just play just a little bit of, as you can see, like if you cup your hand behind it, you get decent, like you can hear it decently. It gets a little bit clearer. The Beats audio enhancer, when you're playing music, it does seem to make a difference. It turned up the bass and it pulled back the mids a bit, and it just kind of added a little bit of depth to the audio. Typing on the device works really well, actually, and the autocorrect is fantastic. It's very intuitive, and it brings up at least 4 options of words that it thinks you're typing, so you can select it before you're even done typing with the word. Like I said, it's thin, it's sleek, it's stylish. One thing that I dislike about the phone is that it's plastic, whereas with the iPhone, it's all glass, it's smooth. And this is smooth, but it doesn't have that cool organic texture that glass has. But it's all preference, really. So the verdict is that this is definitely a beautiful device. It's definitely a viable alternative to the iPhone aside from the memory options. Whereas the iPhone, you can go up to 64 gigabytes. With this device, you can only take what's given to you. And that might be the difference between wanting this or wanting the Samsung Galaxy S3, because the Samsung Galaxy S3 does have that micro SD card slot, and with the iPhone you have the larger memory, so it's really up to you. If you don't want to be limited, I probably wouldn't go with this phone. If you don't watch a whole lot of movies or anything that you download, that said, I mean, this is perfect for Netflix, this is perfect for YouTube, and anything where you're streaming video, not downloading it. So if you want a similar phone with better memory options, you should probably check out the Galaxy S3, because it has that micro SD card slot and it has double the RAM. Aside from that, those two devices are pretty much almost identical.